Mr. Spider Jones. What an asset. What an asset. Give it up, please, to Mr. Spider Jones. You know, he's so good at what he does. You know, he ends up, we reach out to him and use him in this capacity. But as you see, his stories are so important and so powerful that, you know, you're a keynote speaker, my friend. That's how, you're 2 for 1. This event has 2 for 1 keynote speakers, right? By having you here today, Mr. Jones. Mr. Spider Jones, a journalist and author, he was the voice that we heard on the radio that we can connect with. He was the first to have his own program. Coast to Coast, is that right, sir? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's right. Coast to Coast. You can
Like
hear
buttered toast.
Like buttered toast. It just rhymes. It really doesn't make sense. It just rhymes. Sometimes it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to make sense as long as it rhymes. But I will say this much. This man is in the Canadian Boxing Hall of Fame, and there's no doubt that he deserves to be in many more Hall of Fames. So I just thank you for being here, your presence, your guidance. I welcome you all to the beginning of Emancipation Month. You know, I tell you what, it's too much to celebrate in the day. And truth be told, for those who are not familiar with the story, on August 28th, 1833, emancipation, freedom for blacks in the British Empire was written on a piece of paper, but it was not implemented until a year after, August 1st, 1834. So that transition period proves that things that are important take time.
Amen.
They said, you know what, we need 342 more days to get this right. So we roll this out efficiently and effectively. And I think for us to try to recover and to celebrate and to connect in one day is injustice to what needs to be done, to the fight for freedom. Talking about having to take time to recover, to reveal old wounds. In that act, it never said how to act. There was no law of love that they could put into law, into implementation. They couldn't say love your neighbor. So that it takes time for us as a people to recover. And so last year, as we historically lifted up our flag at City Hall, we set the precedence that this is going to be a month where we are going to come together, the African diaspora, those from the Caribbean countries, who all wave different flags at different time of the year, that we are going to come under this one flag, and we are going to celebrate, we're going to commemorate, reflect, and recover from the Atlantic slave trade. And you know what, it dawned on me just recently as I was putting this together, and we're building up, we have an entire month full of activities and flag raisings all across the city and country even. And it dawned on me that this is not a conversation just for those of African descent. If we do not expand this conversation into all parties that were involved in the slave trade, then we won't recover as a people. And so that's a difficult conversation to have. And so I understand we have freedom when we look around the room and we see our brothers and sisters in the room, we have freedom to speak freely. But we have to also be adult enough, mature enough to know that we can't keep pushing those hard conversations away. It's time for real reflection, apology. It's time for real... You know, even in this act that we celebrate today, there was money allocated to pay the slave owners who no longer have people as slaves. They say today that amount would value $20 billion that they set aside to make sure that those who are losing their prime property, their free labor, they would be compensated. But where was our compensation? Where was our education? Where was any concern about our mental capacity? How we felt emotionally? We were just given freedom. So today we are going to embark on a journey that we're going to be the narratives of that freedom. And in this building where law is made, I ask that we all create a law in our own hearts. That we are going to be able to not only love each other, but the hardest thing that I find ourselves doing is love one another. to love one another. You know, I heard a conversation that was between some, in the very late stages of the Black Panther Party. And these brothers were having a very difficult time in communication, okay, the leaders of this group. And I noticed that in their conversation with each other, they kept using the word brother. They kept using the word brother. And it showed me that, you know, they still had a gauge, they still understood and a respect for each other. That even though there were disagreements, that they still had the respect for one another. And so these are the things that throughout this month we're going to target and focus on. I am going to just call up a few speakers, and we hope to have Mr. Jones up here again as well.